Are you ready to kickstart your week with some dirt-slinging and tire-slaying action motorsports radio that packs the biggest gas?
All right, good luck.
Hey, my name's Jolene Van Vliet.
What's up, Brian Deegan?
Vaughn Ginn Jr. here.
They've been thrown into one show that has broken down the barriers of what a motorsports radio show should be. This is the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, with support from General Tire, KMC Wheels, DirtFish, Gibson Exhaust, and MTX Audio, with your host, who also happens to spend his weekends flying 800 horsepower trucks through the dirt, Jim Beaver.
When was the last time you saw an off-road or rally driver begging to get behind the wheel of a NASCAR IndyCar? Yep, not happening, but you sure see these pavement racers begging to drive our cars.
And his partner in crime every week, a self-proclaimed Canadian moto chick who was jumping triples and taking podiums before most guys even learned to ride. Amy Hood.
No one knows how to say my last name. Like, is it really that hard? Amy Hood. Like I'm from the hood. Don't get it twisted.
Sit back, strap in, and be prepared to join us as we take you through a motorsports ride like no other. Here is the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other, Jim Beaver.
Good morning and welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, DirtFish Rally Edition. That is right. This is the special DirtFish Rally Edition of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Those of you who've been longtime listeners know, the past 3 years we've banged out one very special episode each and every year live from DirtFish Rally School up there in Snoqualmie, Washington. This year, no different. Those of you who follow me on social media, you would know that I've been up there and I was able to record a ton of interviews, a ton of content. Took in 3 days of training and a whole lot more up there. Shot a bunch of video. We're going to drop a YouTube edit later on, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. But, man, lots of good stuff going on up there in Snoqualmie at DirtFish Rally School. And, man, we got just a slam-packed show, a ton of interviews. Also slid there in hour number 2 in our traditional spot. We do have Joe Duncan from Terracross calling in. But DirtFish Rally School, we got drifter TJ Fry, who's also an instructor. My friends Winston and Trevor from up there at DirtFish. We've got the owner, Steve Rimmer, an amazing interview there. We got Nate Tennis, good friend of mine, lead instructor up there. Man, it's going to be a packed show. Lots of good interviews, lots of fun, as you will find out, and a whole lot more still coming at you. Not still coming at you. We're just getting started here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? DirtFish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at DirtFish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor DirtFish Rally Edition. I'm your host, Jim Beaver. That's right, flying a little bit solo today. My partner in crime, Amy Hood, she is busy, but then again, she wasn't at DirtFish with me to record all these banging interviews that we got that we're going to start rolling out here in the next segment. So, yeah, you're stuck with just me today. Good and bad of it. Definitely don't look as good as she does, but, you know, been around the block a few times here on air. So those of you longtime listeners, man, you're going to feel right at home. But that being said, feeling right at home, man, a lot of you, I got to tip my cap to you guys. I keep seeing these iTunes numbers and crazy the past couple of months. You guys have really, really started pumping out the archive shows on iTunes and subscribing. So those of you that aren't, please subscribe. Give us those reviews on iTunes. You know, I don't do this often, but definitely. I mean, we're like top 10 sports show, one of the top 10 sports shows in the country, I guess, according to iTunes. At times, sometimes, you know, when it's been a week since we've dropped a show, we fall back a bit, but man, it's crazy. Numbers are nuts. So thank you guys, seriously, all of you that are subscribing. Please keep doing it, and you know, shoot us some of those reviews on iTunes as well. Looking at dropping some unique content like throughout the week there, maybe like some quick hits, like 15, 20 minutes, you know, just talking about off-road or big news or stories or things like that. So, you know, to be exclusive to kind of that platform. So, yeah, you know, if you guys, you know, you guys are down, you know, and listening on iTunes, definitely subscribe, and, you know, you'll be locked and loaded if and when I decide to pull the trigger on those others. So, that being said, enough with the housekeeping there. You know, a couple big things happened. First off, Olympics. I know this is a motorsports show, but the Olympics, those of you that are longtime listeners know every 2 years, man, I am like an Olympics junkie. I full-blown, you know, wave the red, white, and blue for a couple of weeks. I love the Olympics. I love everything that it stands for. I've said it before. It's literally like one of the only times you see everybody in our country, regardless of political affiliations or views on, you know, political issues or anything like that, you know, and, you know, and whether you're a New England Patriots fan or an Arizona Cardinals fan, or it's like, you know, it's like anything that, you know, defines us, it's out the window, you know, it's like we're all one for a couple of weeks. And I love that. I absolutely love that our country stands together for the Olympics. And, man, it's been a great start to the Olympics. You know, I'm definitely watching every night. So I'm sure throughout the show today, you guys are going to hear me, I don't know, talk a bit of Olympics, you know, and throw some stuff in. And as I get updates on my phone, you know, I'm going to be, hey, look, oh, you know, so I'm just fair warning for the next couple of weeks. I'm waving the red, white, and blue. And those of you that are Canadian and UK listeners, man, I want to hear about it. Tweet me at JimBeaver15. Let me know, man. Are you watching the Olympics? Like, seriously, you know, I wave the red, white, and blue, man. A ton of respect for, you know, all kinds of athletes in the Olympics, regardless of their country. So I want to hear, you know, what country you support and where you from. Tweet me. I love knowing where our listeners are from. You know, and you know, love what your predictions, and you know, love to know what's happening. So as always, you know, hit me up. Like to hear what's happening. And another thing that dropped recently, got to talk about. Those of you know, I was up at the STPR rally. Do a lot with Rally America. We were up there in June and did a bit of filming with my friends from Nitro Circus. Street Bike Tommy, obviously we had him on air a couple times. I won the rally, first ever rally, ended up winning it. But I did some filming with Nitro Circus when I was up there, just some commentary and, behind, and explaining rally and, I don't know, hyping up Tommy and, and talking trash and, I don't know, a bit of everything. You know how Nitro Circus rolls. But the first one dropped. I posted it up. I don't know if I did post it up to my Facebook page. I think I did. Hopefully I did. If not, it'll be up later today. But it's up on the Nitro Circus Facebook page. But Street Bike Tommy, it's a 2-part series. Part number 1, I kind of give the intro to the whole thing, so it's kind of cool. But if you're a fan of Nitro, fan of mine, whatever, definitely check that out. I'll be promoting that a bit. But it's just, not just because I'm in it. It's just a cool story. Street Bike Tommy goes to his first rally and ends up being on point and winning, and him and Kiana Erickson Chang, man, had a heck of a battle there. Tommy got the edge with a penalty from Kiana, but man, it was just a lot of fun, a lot of fun being involved in that, and definitely worth checking out. Now I got to talk about something I think we've teased it. I don't know if we haven't teased it, haven't talked about it. Swear I am seriously slacking, and you guys should be annihilating me on social media by now. But Bryce Menzies, my buddy Bryce, I know we've talked about it. I think. Anyways, he's doing a world record truck jump attempt. It's going to be August 27th with Red Bull. He's literally jumping over a ghost town. It's pretty crazy the way this thing is lined up. It's called Bryce Menzies' New Frontier. It's going to air on Red Bull TV live. And, and then they're going to have a follow-up on NBC with a documentary on the whole thing. And I got to tell you, so the history of, the truck jump world record, I mean, it goes back. I don't know who the original holder was. I'm sure it's changed a few times. Johnny Grieve took it in 09, right? Did it out at Jeremy McGrath's ranch and jumped his Pro 4 truck and jumped it basically 301 feet. First guy to clear 300 feet, right? Amazing jump, and truck was gnarly, man. They had to do cutouts in the hood and things like that for airflow. I mean, you don't realize how – jump a truck an entire football field. That's nuts, right? So Tanner Faust, Johnny has it. Tanner Faust ups him. 332, did that at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So he does it at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. In front of a ton of people. It was a big old, it looked like a skateboard ramp, right? And, and Johnny's was hairy. Tanner's was hairier. It was just nuts, right? And this was in 2011 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Jumps 332 feet, and seriously, it was an insane jump. They had this huge ramp built. I mean, it was a big production, and Tanner was definitely on point, but it was sketch. When you're jumping a truck an entire football field, it is sketchy. I'm sorry. It's sketchy, and it's so dangerous. Just for the sake of checking it out, I mean, I went out on a straight road, abandoned road we've got, and I marked out 300 feet just to see how long it was. I looked at that, and I shook my head and go, these guys are nuts. No, and I'm serious. I don't care what kind of money you're going to pay me. I would not jump a truck that far. Seriously, not interested, period. Call me whatever you want. I'm not jumping a truck 300 feet. I just don't care to, period. End of story. I know where to draw the line, and I've jumped trucks 150 feet before, it's not that big of a deal, but you start doubling that, 300 feet, no, not interested, sorry. Wave the white flag, call me whatever names you want. It isn't happening. But Bryce decides, hey, it is happening for him. Him and Red Bull decide to put this together. He's going to try and go for the record over 330 feet. I just got to say, man, jumping that far and that high, and it's one of those things, you have to jump high to jump that far. It's not like you can just jump, you have to have the height to be able to jump that truck that far. But Bryce is going to do it August 27th. I know we're going to try and get him on air. I've been talking with Red Bull. It sounds like we're going to be able to get him locked into the show prior to the jump to talk about it. But I don't know, man. Tip of the cap to Bryce. That's called nutting up and doing it. It's gnarly. The ramifications are massive. The consequences, I guess, are massive. I mean, you want to talk about threading the needle, jumping a truck that far. I mean, it's got to be completely calm. Just a small gust of wind can get up under the hood of these trucks. And it's just, man, Bryce, you are the man, my friend. I'm definitely looking forward to watching this, and I don't know. We're going to be talking about it the next couple of weeks, and definitely ramping things up. And gosh, I mean, it's crazy. I'd love to get Tanner on and be able to talk about his record, and I mean, it's just nuts, and Tanner's going to be the first one to say, "Go Bryce, go!" I know Tanner, but it's crazy. Over 332 feet. No, I don't know what he's going for, maybe 350, but it's just crazy. Bryce Menzies, you're an animal, buddy. You are an animal. So, we're going to take a short commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. We come back, I'm going to be airing some interviews. Trevor Wirt, Winston DeWart from DirtFish Rally School, and, man, we got a ton of interviews, lots of fun. We're going to talk some Formula D later on, some World RX. All that and more coming up on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris Razor XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower, turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? DirtFish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, DirtFish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, DirtFish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, DirtFish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit DirtFish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from DirtFish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at DirtFish Rally. All right, sitting here at DirtFish Rally School. I got my good friend Trevor Wirt here, and oh man, I got to tell you, weather is pretty darn beautiful up here at DirtFish right now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day today. It's been nice since I just got back from Michigan. Weather's been awesome since I got back.
Yeah. That being said, man, I know summer season, a lot of vacations and things like that. A lot of people like to make their way up to, up here, especially, month of August and September. The weather's usually pretty solid up here at DirtFish. But, how have things been going? I mean, obviously, we're going to talk with, a lot of people around the school today, but, you're involved with, kind of the media and marketing things. And, how's the growth been? I mean, I look at, just in the past couple of years, me being involved with a brand, went from all-wheel drive to all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive. And, now you've got different advanced training, GRC lights cars, open cars. I mean, it's quite diverse.
The growth has been insane lately. Ever since, I started here about 2 years ago, and we had just had the STIs, and we were just getting into the BRZs, and since then it's kind of exploded, and we're just like packed full all the time. And yeah, you said we got the lights car, we have all the advanced cars. We just got finished building a new open class car, which is going to be pretty cool. Haven't announced that one yet.
You just did, right? Yeah. No, that being said, it's been kind of cool to see the brand grow, and I know, it's, there's, you guys really, I don't want to say there's not many places in the world, because I think you guys are the only place in the world where somebody can come in and, there's the stepping stones all the way up, and if they do the training, there's no reason why they can't get in a GRC light car if they want to go through the curriculum and the training and the privates and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. If they have the experience and they've already been in similar cars, similar competition, they're more than welcome to come and try it out. We just have to, improve them, make sure they're good enough. But then, for the people who haven't been in them, it's fairly easy. You just go through all of our classes, our 3-day advanced, and you do some private training with our instructors, and then you can hop in the lights car. And if that's the route you want to go down, that's great.
Yeah. Well, that being said, talking about the lights car, we got to talk, obviously DirtFish last year, jumped into Red Bull GRC with both feet. Here we are year number 2, and obviously found some success with Connor this year earlier on. And, it's, that's a big undertaking. You guys not only have the school here, but you've got, things traveling coast to coast now.
Yeah, it's been, it definitely helped on my side of things, the media side of things. It helps because it's more stories to tell. It's been huge because, obviously, Rallycross is growing in the U.S. and GRC has been on their way up. Their following has been growing quite a bit, which has been good, and it helps us get our name out there to more fans and the younger demographic that we're trying to get after.
Yeah. Well, that being said, it seems like rally, it's such a unique sport where, you've got all the young kids coming up and they see Travis Pastrana and Ken Block and, and David Higgins and, and now even Bucky Lassick, who I know has been up here a few times. But, you've got that group of kids, that comes from the action sports side of things, and they see rally as, the cool motorsport. And then you've got the veterans. You've got guys, we just had an NEFR, a guy that was 70 win, the event overall. So it's such a unique motorsport or sport, and that you've got the young kids that think it's cool. You've got the veterans that have been around forever, and here's DirtFish right in the middle of all that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And rally and rallycross are very similar cars and everything. But the rallycross definitely caters to that young, short attention span and loud cars, loud noises, bright colors, everything like that. But then the rally is really where it all comes from. And that's what, the older guys in the sport love, is being out on the dirt roads in the middle of the woods and just, going flat out.
Yeah. Well, and I know, you not only your media and that, you're also an instructor here. I don't know how often you're in the cars anymore. I know it's not as much as you'd like to be, right?
Yeah, definitely not as much as I'd like to be. I try to get in at least a couple times a month. That hasn't really been the case lately. I've been in and out a lot, but it's, I still instruct every now and then. It's still fun to get out in the car and, get the adrenaline going again.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate the time, Trevor, and, we'll definitely, beautiful place here. Love coming up here every time, and, lots of fun still to come.
Yeah, thanks. Glad you could come out again.
All right, thanks. All right, catching up with my buddy Winston DeWart here, DirtFish Rally School, and, man, you're one of the OGs here. I think I've done shows from here like 3 times now, and even before that you were here, man. You're like the veteran of the deal. Yeah, you and Nate, right?
Nate and Ted as well.
Okay.
He took a sabbatical, took off for a year, did some other stuff, and then came back to this. But, Nate and I are probably the lone soldiers that stayed the whole time for the longest.
Figure out if that's good or bad later, right? Yeah, no. Yeah, mean it all in fun, It's totally cool. I think it speaks volumes for this place, though. I've seen it grow. Obviously, you've been able to see this thing grow, and It's, and I know you've got so many other things you're doing. I mean, you're involved with, spotting for different teams and involved with all kinds of different programs, but something keeps you here, this is like the home base, right?
Yeah, this is the home base, the main gig where I come back to collect my thoughts before I go out and do other stuff.
Nice. Well, what's up with you? I know you've got you got your drift car that you've been working on, and obviously jumping around doing some spotting in Red Bull GRC. I mean, what's on tap for you?
The ongoing project, the never-ending drift car. It seems like I feel like when I first met you 3 years ago, I started that thing. It's almost done now. I mean, my buddy's helping me out with the cage, so that's pretty sweet. It's practically rolling shell now. We're starting to bolt everything back together, but main goal with that is just go run the local pro-am stuff. I would love to go do what like the likes of Ryan Turk and Tyler McCory and Daioshiara have achieved, and make a full-time gig out of pro drifting. So that's the main ambition. But on the side, I've landed. Luckily enough, thanks to Bucky Lassick, believe it or not, he knew a friend of a friend, mutual acquaintance through Porsche stuff, that got involved with a GRC Lights team earlier on this year, and they needed a spotter and a coach, and he referred me to him. They gave me a call, and I started the first half of the season with them, but unfortunately, due to conflicts with the Pirelli World Challenge, they had to pull out and finish that championship because they were higher in the points, and then I got in touch with Ian Davies over at OMSE, and then spotted the last round for the Red Bull OMSE Lights team there. So still hopping around from team to team through the paddock, but we'll see what the next round works.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. You look at GRC Lights, and obviously you got the DirtFish team there, and a lot of staff going over into the motorsports side from the school, and then you've got you there. It's like old home week, the Red Bull Global Rallycross events, right? Yeah. No. That being said, I mean, let's talk a little bit about DirtFish School. Obviously, you've been, one of the instructors here. I know the big thing was about, what was it, about 2 years ago? I don't know. They brought in the rear-wheel drive cars. I know this was, the Subaru-based school, are based off of, Subaru platforms. And obviously, the STI, the WRX has been phenomenal. Then they go to the BRZs, the rear-wheel drive platform. I mean, you as an instructor, how has that crossover been, being able to bounce back and forth between the two?
Exciting day at the office when those things showed up. Simply growing up, rear-wheel drive was what I raced, from go-karts to Formula cars, and you kind of learn how to control a rear-wheel drive car from a younger age, because that's, traditionally when you think of motorsports, 90% of the cars out there racing are rear-wheel drive cars over all-wheel drive cars. Whereas the teaching curve to it is a little different. An STI is more of like kind of we joke, an aim and squeeze platform. You get it pointed and you go. Whereas the BRZs, due to the rear-wheel drive nature of it, you can't just aim it and leave. You scrub all your momentum, so you really have to keep the thing moving a little bit. So you kind of let them drift the car slightly, not as much as you would see like in a Formula Drift event, but you're using the brakes to initiate the corner, and then you're using the gas from that point on. Once you have enough rotation to keep the slide going and help keep pitching it for the next turn, so. It is a lot more on-throttle activity.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be kind of cool for you. I mean, you mentioned Bucky Lassick earlier. I know off the air you and I were talking, and you mentioned Dai Yoshihara. I mean, it's got to be pretty cool for you to see, like, these big name, whether it be Bucky, with his action sports background, or Dai. I mean, he's one of the best drifters in the world, See these type people. I know Ryan Turk's been here, and, I mean, the list goes on, but it's got to be pretty cool for you, an instructor, to see those guys come through the doors, and, and then all of a sudden you're sitting in a car with them, helping coach them and things like that.
It's an awesome thing. It kind of checks your reality a little bit that this place is more than just a driving school. If those guys with championships and other things are coming here, a lot of guys are looking for other ways to sharpen their tools, but also just looking for a good time. So it's kind of humbling, but at the same time, it is a true honor to get to be able to work with those guys, and you kind of you appreciate your day at the office.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So what's up next for you? Obviously, here we got this, class we're winding up, but, I know Formula Drift's going on this weekend here in Washington, and, what's up next for you, though? Obviously, a few more GRC races still on tap, so, where are you headed next?
Hopefully Atlantic City. We'll see. It's still a discussion, but it sounds like I might finish out, or looking to finish out the season with the guys over at OMSE, which is pretty cool, working with Andreas Eriksson and Ian Davies and the likes of those guys. I mean, they have a long history of championships between the two of them, whether it was stage rally or rallycross. And then hopefully finishing up my personal drift car in the next few months and breaking that thing out. I'm going to go shake it down a little bit and then go run some Pro-Am with it.
Yeah,
and see where
awesome.
it goes.
Yeah, you hoping to have that at any events by the end of the year? Is that kind of the goal?
I keep telling my buddy who's helping me out with my car, here's the problem. When you have a friend helping you out and you do it on the side, it's like my car's always on the back burner.
Yeah, I got you.
He's got to get his pay, so I keep telling him, it's like, this thing better be done before my birthday because I want to hear it run on my birthday. So.
Yeah, I got a buddy with a race car, and it took him forever. And so, literally, you mentioned that, and his car now it got finished like on his birthday, and he does this whole deal where the car had its birthday on his birthday. So he gets a cupcake with a candle, and he puts it down there, and he revs the exhaust and gets the exhaust to blow the candle out. So.
Pull it off. I have till November. So those are my favorite.
Yeah. Definitely 2017 though, right? All right.
It'd be great because I get to go down to Southern California for the BMW Performance Center every now and then. So you got a local series in the wintertime down there because, as you know, the weather is perfect in part of the U.S. At that time of year. So if I can trailer it down and do some local stuff down there in the off season up here, that would be kind of nice.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, Winston, and good catching up, my friend. And take care.
No worries.
All right, and we will be back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, with a little bit more after this break.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound of the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver here, and pumping out some interviews I did at DirtFish Rally School. I know some of you just tuning in, live online. There's a little bit of an echo, and the interviews that are pre-recorded aren't coming through. So we're gonna, continue to roll with it, and then if you check back in the archives, things will be cleaned up and ready to roll. So here's my friend TJ Fry. All right, out here at DirtFish Rally School, banging out some more interviews here. We got TJ Fry, and you got a lot going on. Not only instructing here at DirtFish, but you're a man of many hats.
I try to be. I have a diverse hat collection.
Yeah, so you know what? It's funny though. It seems like everybody here is that way. You talk to Winston, and he's bouncing all over the country, and I know Michelle. She's bouncing around doing all kinds of stuff, and it just it seems like a lot of you guys just wear a bunch of hats.
We try. DirtFish is actually an amazing program, and it's really neat for us instructors because we get to do a bunch of different things. There's a lot of facilities and a lot of schools that really want you to just lock in and be full-time, and that's what you do, and that's all you do. DirtFish has been really understanding with a lot of us, kind of keeping our passion stoked and letting us do a bunch of different things. So, we have a lot of passion for this place just because they allow us to wear those different hats.
Yeah, well, and I think it goes back to DirtFish, too, because you've got a guy like you who's drifted and done off-road and a bunch of other things. And I mean, and you've got guys that have been rallyists, and you've got people that are autocrossers, and as far as instructors go. And so you've got these instructors with such a diverse background, and by them allowing you guys to go out and do things and then come back here, it does nothing but, build, I guess, the reputation of the instructors and, what you bring to the table.
Yeah, exactly. It sort of strengthens our core of driving ability. I mean, Ted, for example, has a lot of road racing background, and so that's one of the areas that I don't have a lot of experience in. So I get to learn a lot from him. And several of us used to work at winter driving school in Colorado, and really got to enjoy that. So we have, like you said, a diverse background, and that really just helps us strengthen our core program.
Yeah. Well, give us your story, because I know you've done a ton, but how'd you end up here at DirtFish? I mean, let's start there.
Well, it's a long story, but to keep it short, so I started out. I got a degree in film in college, and was skiing semi-professionally at that time, and so I started filming for Warren Miller and a couple other companies. Always was passionate about cars, and ended up in Southern California because with a film degree, what else do? You move to Hollywood. So I did, and then kind of accidentally fell into some precision driving, and had a couple guys that I met in that world, and they gave me some recommendations and really helped me out, got me a position at a winter driving school, and just sort of accidentally started instructing. I had no idea I could do it, and just sort of graduated from those programs up to DirtFish eventually.
Yeah, well, and then on the driving side of things, I know you're staying pretty active. I mean, we've talked, and you've done some off-road and some Baja stuff. I know, currently you're doing some drifting stuff, Pro 2 with Formula Drift.
Yeah, so right now I have I'm going for the Pro 2 license. I'm running the Pro-Am series out at Evergreen Drift in Evergreen, or I guess I should say Monroe, Washington. So doing that program, which is a lot of fun. I've been drifting since 2009. Ran some autocross before that. Started out doing four-wheeling off-road, just really having fun with buddies in Colorado and Montana, and then sort of just kind of kept going upwards. But I've everything about my driving is sideways. If it's not sideways, it's fun, but it's not as much fun.
Yeah.
So anything I can do, whether it's stage rally or snow and ice driving, drifting, I'm a big fan of. I run the S14 and it's 400 some odd horsepower now, 430 or so to the wheels. That's a trip. Anything I can do to be sideways is kind of my passion.
Yeah. How's that picking up drifting? Because I know it's something I've toyed with a bit, but never done anything in competition. Literally just out having fun. Well, that's what I'm asking. I mean, how is that adapting? Because it's so different than any other motorsport. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, the biggest challenge about it is, here's the thing. You're used to driving lots of power in a rear-wheel drive. Obviously, the weight transfer with, your trophy truck is going to be a lot different than, 2.5 inches of travel in a drift car. But that being said, the weight transfer still works the same. So keeping it sideways and being precise while sideways is the challenge. And then you throw a whole other car into the mix. So it's really, really different, like you said. But the biggest difference, I think, for most guys is that it's not about time. It's not about speed. So it's the judged factor. And in my opinion, that unfortunately puts us in the same realm as like freestyle motocross and even figure skating. because you have that judged element. At least in road racing or Baja or whatever it might be, you have a clock, and that doesn't lie. There's sort of a subjective element to drifting that can be very frustrating from time to time, and that to me has been the most challenging thing to accept and to learn to deal with.
Yeah, and I get it. I mean, I've talked with guys all the way, talk with, guys like Vaughn, and he said the same thing. He's like, outsiders looking in, sometimes they, fans that are endemic to the sport, they get it, they understand it, they love it. But, sometimes it's hard to create other fans from other motorsports because they don't get it. It's like, well, what do you mean he doesn't have to be the fastest? It's easy to watch a NASCAR race and say, hey, this guy was fastest from point A to point B. Drifting, that's all out the window.
Yeah, exactly. And that it makes it a little more difficult for us to really have a completely, like, if you have a close battle, that's why they have the one more times.
Yeah.
If it's too difficult to call, then you got to go again. But now the sport it's still a very young sport, and so we're figuring things out as we go. And I think Formula Drift overall has done a good job figuring out a lot of the issues. However, there's still a lot of issues. And so while they're doing a good job, we still keep running into new problems. And right now the sport is so close in competition. The cars are right on each other's doors, literally leaving tire marks on the sometimes. It's gotten to the point where it's really difficult to make those calls sometimes unless someone makes a glaring mistake. So one more time is becoming a difficult thing. When you're running 1,000 horsepower in a car, it's pretty difficult to keep it going for lap after lap without swapping tires and making changes. So it's we're running into issues, but we adapt as we grow, which is nice.
Well, and I think that's saying that and how it's come. It's crazy to me because as a fan of the sport, even 4 or 5 years ago, like nobody. There was 5 guys that could win an event, and you kind of knew who they were going in, and everybody else was just, we'll see who's in the top 10. Now, there's literally 25 guys that can show up to an event, and, they can put a car in the top 5. It's pretty amazing, really.
It really has become pretty neat, and I love that they've changed it up a little bit. So the Pro Series and the Pro 2 Series, they're pretty awesome in that you have 32 cars at the Pro level, and then Pro 2 is running everything else. So you have a lot of guys even that are competing in both, and I think that's really kind of upped the game a little bit. So it's a unique challenge, but you got to come out and give it a whirl because with what you do, you'll pick it up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It's not that crazy.
It would be a ton of fun. I think I told you earlier. I'd been in a car with Turk and did some demos, and just the car control is insane, just being in there, and I can appreciate, let's see how close we can get to the wall, and I'm looking at things going, I'm in the passenger seat going, man, we're getting really darn close here, and, I know if we had a camera there, we're within, an inch or two of it, and it's just, to me, that precision is just crazy. You don't get that in a lot of places,
It is fun. Some of it is also crazy. I'm also the guy that stood on the roof of a car at 55 miles an hour, so there's a little bit of that crazy element to it, and I think everybody, especially, like Chris Forsberg and Ryan Turk and Vaughn Gittin, all those guys would probably agree in that you have to be a little bit bonkers to really want to push those limits. But yeah, it's very much about precision. A lot of people kind of the common misconception is that you need to lose grip. Well, the challenge now is that we need to keep grip to be fast, but still have enough power to overpower the grip that we have. So you have these ridiculous. There's some of the.
It's like a vicious cycle, isn't it? It's like now you got like 1,200 horsepower and.
He's that like 1,200 horsepower quad rotary twin turbo thing. I don't even know it's not a car; it's a rocket ship. It's crazy. So yeah, it's come a long way.
Yeah, that being said, circling everything back to DirtFish, how does that transfer? All those skills you're learning and drifting and using in drifting, how's that transition to make you a better instructor here at DirtFish?
So it's pretty straightforward in the rear-wheel drive class.
Yeah.
I basically have to explain to people, this is where we need to look, this is how power over works, this is, how weight transfer affects everything. It's definitely helped with that. When we get into the all-wheel drive cars, it's a little bit different, but the tools that you have are identical, and so the vision becomes just as important. And, like we mentioned earlier today, I think you and I had the conversation about how difficult it is to get the vision beyond the car in front of you, because that's what I'm used to looking at is the car in front of me. So I have to work on keeping my vision up. So while I'm working on it, I'm helping my students work on it. Overall, though, being comfortable with sliding a car is something that not a whole lot of people are comfortable with sliding a car.
Yeah.
So having the ability to be comfortable doing that and knowing what it's going to do and what needs to happen to accomplish a certain goal, has really helped being in the seat here at DirtFish, because I can translate that and I can see that a little bit earlier than most. So I'm definitely lucky in that sense.
Well, and that's an interesting point. I never really thought about it. But a lot of people, you get people that aren't necessarily race car drivers. They just come here for the experience. And, those people coming into DirtFish, they may not be comfortable with a car sideways. Somebody like myself or you, it's second nature. It goes sideways. And when you've gone past that limit, well, I'm too far sideways. But a lot of people, it just steps out a bit. And this could just be normal highway driving in the rain or something like that, and they immediately, it's panic. What do I do? And, they learn this. Yeah, exactly. And just them, any Tom, Dick, and Harry off the street comes to DirtFish, and I don't want to say that's who's coming to DirtFish, but but you know what I mean. But just those small things they pick up, you hope that makes them a better, not just competition driver if they ever decide to pursue that, but just on the street. They've got awareness of what the vehicle's doing now.
Absolutely. I tell a lot of people, we get a lot of families, like fathers and sons, that'll come through the program in particular. It's great to have a younger driver, say, like just got their license or just got their permit, to come through these programs, because they learn it's performance based, but they learn about the basics of weight transfer and where to look and how to handle the oversteers and the understeers and how to identify them and fix them. So because they're young, they still have that real plastic brain plasticity, so to speak, and so they learn things quickly, and as opposed to dad, who comes and has 30 years of bad habits I have to beat out first. And so he gets frustrated because the kid generally picks it up faster. Yeah. So it's actually kind of funny to watch, but it's amazing. The kids learn so much from this because it's way beyond, you can parallel park a car, cool, here's your license. Yeah. It's way beyond that, and so we really have a good time.
Yeah, and they haven't had a chance to develop, like you said, the bad habits yet. So you're able to instill the good habits out of them at a young age.
Yeah, and hopefully they use it for good, not evil.
Yeah, exactly. They're not out in Walmart parking lots doing burnouts and
Although admittedly, it's rather that than doing it on a freeway on-ramp.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't condone dangerous driving.
Nice. So, what's up next for you? Obviously, you got to, you're wearing. We talked about wearing a bunch of hats. So, obviously, we went up here at DirtFish. But what's up next for you?
So I'm doing more work in front of the camera, actually. So I just did a review on the Focus RS that'll be on the Drive Network here in the next couple weeks. Really excited to do more of that. That's been a blast. Not just the car reviews, but just working in front of the camera. Because like I said, I love film. That's why I got the degree in it. So hopefully doing more of that. I'm real fortunate that way. And I'm actually going to be starting a podcast. So
nice.
In the near future, so be on the lookout for that. But otherwise, I will be competing in as many drift events as I can. Kind of, it's a brand new car this year. It's a 95 240SX with a V8, so I'm really getting familiar with it and still kind of figuring it out. And next season will actually be the let's go for it season and try to accomplish some goals. So.
Nice. So I got to ask you. Obviously, I'm a radio guy and a podcast guy. What's a podcast? Give us your pitch here.
Oh man, this is the elevator pitch.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Basically, the podcast is, being from Montana, I have a really, really awesome base of followers and friends and fans that support me, because there's not a whole lot of racers out of Montana. And that's killer. So really what I'm trying to do is connect those people to some of the people I've been fortunate to connect with, such as yourself, right? So being able to have this and specifically discuss Montana-related topics, and here's some of the best roads that you could go drive, and what do you think about this, and how does this affect winter driving, because we have a lot of that up there. So being able to provide something for those people that wouldn't otherwise really get the chance to interact with some of the larger names in motorsports, I've been really fortunate, and I kind of want to give back to those people. So that's really the main reason.
Awesome.
And secondarily is real important to me. I want to inspire those people. I'm from Montana, and I really want to inspire a lot more people to realize, okay, you don't have to live in Las Vegas or Southern California to be successful in the racing world. You really can do it from anywhere. You got to make some sacrifices, but it can be done.
Yeah, well, that's the truth. I've got some friends that live all over the country in some oddball places that are, involved in motorsport, and with the internet and everything else now, and cheap plane tickets. I mean, the world has got so much smaller that you really can be anywhere and do it.
15 years ago, who am I and who are you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it really has, like you said, it shrunk the world, and there's a lot of good that can come from that. A lot of people can really get to experience a lot of neat things if they just go after it.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, TJ, and we'll definitely chat again soon.
Sounds good, man.
All right, we're going to take a short commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Come back. We're going to talk some Formula Drift, and we're also going to be talking some World RX and Mitchell DeYoung. So all that and more still to come.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at MTX.com. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
Honey, did you know they're giving away $79,000 in guaranteed cash prizes for the Crazy Cash Harvest at the Blue Water Resort and Casino?
Oh, yeah. All new this time, every Saturday you can swipe your club card and we'll receive free grand prize drawing entries for the grand finale. One winner will win $25,000 on October 29th.
That's right. Plus, on Saturdays, a chance to win $3,000 in guaranteed cash prizes. Drawings every half hour from 2 to 6 p.m.
It's the Crazy Cash Harvest every Saturday, August 13th through October 29th. See the club for full details.
Kick off the summer at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Our gaming floor is packed with the hottest slot machines, table games, poker, and bingo. Earn points as you play and redeem your points for discounts at our restaurants, for free slot play, for lodging, and more. Plus, members of the club can participate in our promotions for a chance to win cash and prizes. Book your hotel at Blue Water today. Sunday to Thursday room rates start at $94.95 now to the end of summer based on availability.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water, right on the money.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver here, and obviously I was at DirtFish last weekend. A lot happening in the Seattle area. Not only was I at DirtFish, you had NHRA drag racing going on, you had unlimited hydroplane racing going on, and you had Formula Drift going on. All that happening on the same weekend in the same town, man. It was off the chain. But Formula Drift, got to talk some FD, and man, it was all Odie Bakchis taking home the victory. This guy, a couple of years ago, didn't hear much about him. Now, man, he is a front runner, laying it down each and every week. You got Chris Forsberg in that second podium spot, and then the veteran Ken Gucci finding himself in third. Fourth place, it was Kaufman. And, man, I got to give a shout-out, though. Tanner Faust making it to the final 8, getting beat out by Forsberg. Solid effort. Osbo also making it to the final 8. He got knocked out by Bakchis. And Tyler McQuarrie, good run for him, into the final 8, and he was knocked out as well. So, man, FD going off. And Forsberg continuing that podium streak, man, just Mr. Consistent there on the podium each and every week. He's making a run for that championship again. Better look out. But that was your Formula Drift results from Washington. We'll be back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, after this break. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here, and I guess we're going to start our DirtFish Rally Report for the week, which is a bit funny because the whole show is the Down and Dirty Radio Show DirtFish Rally Edition. Biggest rally event happening this weekend. It was World RX in Canada and a World Rallycross happening in Canada, and it's so big because this is the only time WRX comes to North America. I know a lot of the American rallycross teams go north of the border to compete. It's just a big event. It's only time they're in North America, so it's a huge deal. Timmy Hansen ended up walking away with the victory. Andreas Backerud in second, and Johan Kristoffersen in third. Topi Heikkinen in fourth. Petter Solberg and Anton Markland rounding out your top six. I got to give a shout-out to my buddy Ken Block. I feel like he's finally putting it together in WRX. I mean, he's always a solid competitor. Ken, he's one of the best rallycross drivers in the world, period. But him making the transition to RX this year, there's been some teething. I mean, it's a new series, new tracks. You gotta give him some credit. He's jumping out of the box. This year he could have been running GRC. Most likely he'd be in that title fight. He decided to step out of the box, run for the World Rallycross Championship, and it's taken a little bit of time. He's got a great teammate in Andreas Backerud, but Block, obviously, there's a curve there, right? And, he finally, his times were on point. Ken running up front, looking solid, was really, really stoked for him. Ended up having, a problem that took him out of the event. Or knocked him out of the event, but I got to say, Ken looking good. I know they're going next to a place where he owns, I believe, the track record. So hopefully we can see Block by year's end on top of the podium there in World RX. But that being said, RX Lights, our boy Mitchell DeYoung, coming out of nowhere. Like I said, literally, the kid hadn't been in a car for 18 months. He won a Lights championship. Rumors were swirling about him going to Supercar and GRC. Things didn't mature. He's literally been in the dark. He is a world champion. I guess it's iRacing where you race cars on the internet. But, Mitchell, he's just been off the grid. He decides, hey, I'm coming back to RX. Boom. He shows up, takes the victory after not being in a car for 18 months. And just nuts. The kid is so uber talented. Give him a supercar ride already. That's all I got to say about that. But anyways, Mitchell DeYoung taking the win, and I got to give a shout-out to Connor Martell from DirtFish Rally School. He finished up in 5th. So that's your DirtFish Rally Report for this week. Brought to you by our good friends at DirtFish Rally School. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, Joe Duncan with Terracross. He's on the line. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of RZR vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a RZR 170 like me, take the entire family out in a RZR XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new RZR XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris RZR. Check out the full Polaris RZR lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound of the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? DirtFish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at DirtFish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR DirtFish Rally School Edition. Right now, we are going to switch gears a bit, though. We got my good friend Joe Duncan from Terracross on the line. How's everything going, Joe?
Things are amazing, Jim Beaver. Things are coming together. We're under 40 days from our first event.
Yeah, I got my flights booked, so I know it's getting close.
Wait a second. We're only a week out?
Yeah. No, the flights were so cheap, I decided, I was like, I better jump on these because they're going to be like $800 if I don't book them when they're $200. It's like it doesn't gradually increase. It just goes from $200 to $800 overnight,
Oh yeah, what airline you flying? Hopefully not Delta.
I can't remember. I think it was American. I'll have to look. Most of the time I do American, and then Delta's usually my backup.
Everybody on Delta right now has been stuck across the country with their little power outage in Atlanta. There, I know some peeps from Polaris are stuck and trying to get home. And some people we're working with on some Polaris projects, so pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. In Delta, here we are talking airline industry in the Terracross segment, but they're widely known as one of the better airlines, and it's I don't know, it's crazy. Yeah.
Well, we're getting ready. Machines are being shipped, and they'll start showing up in quantities starting next week, so we can all of our Terracross and Polaris mechanics engineers can start the assembly process. As they start from a stock machine, and we start adding Polaris accessories like their bumpers front and rear bumpers, Nerf bars, intrusion bar, their aluminum roof, and we just start going to town. We also have their new seat belt that has been released that's coming on board. It's going to be amazing, the new Sub-Zero harnesses that we get to use this year at Terracross. So super excited for all the Polaris accessories and all the things that we've worked with for years on these machines that have made Terracross successful, and now they're all on board with us and working with us, and some great color options and some great protection items, and yeah, pretty excited to start getting that process going, because that is a full house when that happens.
Yeah. You guys only have one or two razors to upfit, right? That's about it.
Yeah, one or two in multiplied times 50. We got a lot of them. So,
yeah.
I don't know if you heard, but our boy Cole Coutu, Terracross's one and only Cole Coutu, down at Loretta Lynn's, ended up fourth at Loretta Lynn's, and that's pretty dang impressive. He almost had it won, and with some of the mud, had a little trouble right at the end, but ended up fourth at Loretta Lynn's. That's an impressive accomplishment for someone that doesn't race motocross full time.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. For a non-motocross rider, that's really impressive. But I got to say, Cole's become a good friend of mine. I took him up to DirtFish with me last year, and this kid, you want to talk about, and he's not flashy, on social media and this and that. He's just, he's just a good kid, and I know you know the family well, and you grew up with his dad. But Cole, he's so ridiculously talented, Joe. A snowmobile, he kills it. You throw him on a dirt bike, he kills it. You put him in a razor, he kills it. You put him in a rally car, he wins his first ever rally race. The kid is so talented. I just, not many kids often come along that can just do everything like him.
Yeah, he's multi-talented. It was pretty impressive the first time we put him in a Polaris Razor, and he could wheel that thing. He had a little trouble. He did a little bicycling, but he could wheel that thing. And like you said, you brought him up to DirtFish. He learned a lot there. Top 3, top 4 in points last year to RJ Anderson, Mickey Thomas, some pretty big names right up there with Cody Raiders, some pretty big UTV names that Cole's up there running with. And of course we'll be running in our top class this year with those guys, with Jason Luberg, our, 2-time champion. So pretty impressive. It was just cool to see that. Like you said, great family, as you know, Jim, that, our Terracross headquarters is out of Coutu Motorsports race shop up there in Princeton, Minnesota. And we're so fortunate to be a part of that facility and that team, and part of Hanco Utility, Jeff Coutu's company, and just excited to get things kicked off. I know Jeff has some cleaning up to do in the shop. He has his boat and some campers and all the stuff from the summer's activities that are still in the shop, and he's just getting back from Loretta Lynn's and starting to get all that cleaned up, because he knows all the Polaris Razors are on their way to the shop here in the next week or so.
Yeah, and not only that, all his RVs and anything he had at Loretta's are going to have about a foot of mud on them. It looked like that was just yeah, he's got a lot of cleaning to do.
Oh yeah. So we're just trying to get everything teed up for Heydays here. Some pretty cool things going on at Heydays, some improvements out there. We got a couple of new big partners on board, and just getting ready to kick everything off. It's getting exciting. I know CBS Sports Network and our television production team is out already doing some preseason filming and interviews. We got a couple of cool announcements coming, sounds like next week, with 2 drivers that are going to make an appearance at Terracross at Heydays, and along with our big Odyssey battery partnership that we announced a few weeks back, and they're coming on board with couple of great drivers to be a part of the series here. So yeah, things are moving and shaking.
Yeah, I'll have to get with those boys at Odyssey Batteries. I got a project I could use 1 or 2 Odyssey batteries for. So
I'm sure we can hook you up. They're great people to work with. What an amazing company! All the stuff that they do outside of just their batteries.
Yeah, you hear anybody talk about batteries nowadays, in Odyssey, as far as race batteries go, top of the list.
Yeah, and they're associated with some great athletes and drivers. Tanner Faust, Brian Deegan, Haley Deegan. I mean, they just got a great lineup of athletes that they're teamed up with, and Terracross is fortunate to be on board with them.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Yeah, it's funny talking Terracross. I was up at DirtFish, obviously, for like 4 days last week and had some meetings and did 3 days worth of training and did some radio. We did some filming up there and a bunch of other stuff. But it's funny because all these instructors, I mean, they all come from like Formula Drift and Rally and all these other things. They're all good friends of mine. And they all wanted to talk about Terracross. And it's funny, because I do all these things involved with all these motorsports. They all wanted to talk about razors and Terracross, so it's cool. I judge things by when I travel what people want to talk about. It's like Terracross was what everybody wanted to talk about this go around, and I'm going, we're doing something right, Joe. People, it's on the tip of everybody's tongue.
Well, the season's about ready to kick off. It's kind of every sport has its that part of the year when people get excited and it's our time now. All the rest of the series are either 3/4 over. Some have already finished. Some will be ending here shortly. But our season just kicked off, and with our CBS Sports Network 24 hours of television, with some of these great new partners like Western Power Sports, Fly Racing, Sedona Tires, and then all the guys that are coming back right now with GBC Tires and Walker Evans and Fox, and we just have a great group coming back. Caliber Products just put together a deal for them to come back this year with a car and some racers. So it's happy time right now and go time for Terracross.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Joe, I appreciate you taking the time to call in. We'll definitely do it again next week. I know we got some big guests lined up the next couple of weeks, so it should be a ton of fun.
We got some big guests with some big 200-foot-plus announcements.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, buddy. Talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks a lot, Joe.
All right. Bye.
All right, and with that, we're going to take a short commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Nate Tennis on the line after this.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When RJ Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. RJ is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? DirtFish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, DirtFish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, DirtFish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, DirtFish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit DirtFish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from DirtFish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at DirtFish Rally. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here, and we're going to skip over and do an interview, interview I did with my friend Nate Tennis, lead instructor up there at DirtFish Rally School. All right, we got my buddy Nate Tennis here out here at DirtFish Rally School, and guess what? You quote the lead instructor, right? Is that what it says on the business card?
That's the name they gave me.
Yeah. No, it's like I was talking with Winston, and I think it's you and Winston, and it was Ted that have been here the longest, and I said, "Oh, is that good or bad?" You know. Yeah, right. No, I was talking with Winston. It's funny because I've been coming up here for I think three years now, and just seeing the changes, at DirtFish, and how the brand has evolved and the school has evolved and things like that, and the instructors, and just the diverse amount of instructors and their backgrounds. I mean, with drifting and off road and road racing and rally and autocross it's pretty remarkable, really.
Experience in any one of the disciplines that a student is participating in, and that gives you some credibility to what you're saying to them, and you can say, hey, the reason this works is because of this. Now, I know in turn 3 of Pacific Raceways that this is going to work the best, so, okay, I'm going to listen to this guy because he knows what he's talking about. He's driven a Porsche on the track, so he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's cool. It's an awesome group of people, and it's fun to be able to be involved with a team that wants to do really well and wants to produce a good product and is genuinely engaged and enthused with students. That's huge.
Yeah. Well, I know. What was it? Just yesterday, when I was doing some classes, you were back in the car, so it's got to feel good. I mean, I know you don't get to get in the car as often as you want, but once in a while, it's kind of good to blow the cobwebs out. Is that what we're saying here?
Yeah. I was rusty.
Yeah.
It's awesome to be able to jump in the car, and we're busy enough this summer that I'm doing a lot of in-car stuff. So that's what I'm most interested in. I think I mentioned to you yesterday. That's why I got involved with rally school, is to be in the car, not the office.
Yeah.
So it's great to jump in, and it's fun, man. That's what I love.
Yeah, well, now, you got, not only all-wheel drive, but rear-wheel drive, changing it up, and so now you've got, such a diverse amount of people coming. I know a lot of off-road guys have started coming up here strictly because there's the rear-wheel drive programs now, and, it's going to be kind of cool to be able to shake things up every time you're in the car.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's basically doubled everything that we have on offer. When it was the all-wheel drive, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. I'll learn some rally stuff there, but off-road guys, not many of them are four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So the techniques will apply, but it's not as directly relatable as with the rear-wheel drive stuff. So it's cool to be able to offer a very similar program in terms of structure, but have it be entirely different in terms of experience and techniques. That it opens it up quite a bit and doubles everything almost.
Yeah. So what's up next for you? I mean, we're going to see you in, I'm not talking cars at DirtFish, but actually race cars anytime soon. What's going on here?
Well, I have a crappy mechanic, and that's me. No, been sitting on for the longest time that I really, really need to finish. I was hoping to get that finished and running this season, but that'll have to wait for hopefully the end of the year. But next year, 2017, is my 20th anniversary of competing in rallies. So I better have a car ready.
Yeah, we got to roll out like a whole season worth of races, right? 20th anniversary.
I really want to hit the Cascadia Cup hot and heavy next year.
Nice. Really nice. So what are we looking at as far as the Group 2 car goes? What are you building?
That's my 70s vintage Saab.
Nice.
She's going to be the best prep I've had so far, so it's going to be good.
Yeah.
New motor, because I blew it last time. Lots of new other bits on it, because I rolled it last time.
Yeah, that takes talent to both roll a car and blow the engine at the same time.
Full commitment. That was 2 separate days, actually.
Oh, okay.
Rolled it on the first day, and we hammered it back out, got it back ready for the next day, and then my spare radiator was plugged, and I didn't really believe the temp gauge, and it was 100% accurate.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because it was a race I drove for a guy, and his longtime co-driver, he jumped in the truck with me, and we got chairs breaking and everything here.
I think I need to get on a diet.
No, we're running this race, and it's like a 250-mile stint we're doing, and we're out in the middle of nowhere, and we jump in the truck, and all of a sudden, we're going, and we're catching the guy in front of us, and and all of a sudden the co-driver, he looks at me, he goes, "Man," he's like, "Dude," he's like, "the truck's getting hot," and I'm like, "Well, what's it running?" He's like, "Well, it's running like 280 degrees," and I'm like, "Dude, that gauge has got to be broke." I'm like, "If it was 280 degrees, the engine would have blown by now." And he's like, "Yeah, you're right." He's like, "There must be something the matter with the gauge." I'm like, "Dude, we're catching the guy, right?" So we ran the truck like 50 miles with it at like 280 degrees, and we pull into the next pit, and we pull in there, and we're right on the bumper of this guy, and we're doing it, and we're getting ready to do a driver change, and no, we weren't doing a driver change. It was just a fuel stop. I was still in the truck, and we pull in there. We're doing a fuel stop, and the guys are looking over the truck and dumping gas, and he goes, "Hey," he's like, one of the guys looks under, he's like, "Oh, cut the engine." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "No, we got to put a new belt on." He's like, "A water pump." He's like, we got to put a new belt on. I'm like, "All right." We shut the truck down. He's like, "Was it getting hot?" And I'm like, "Nah, man, we must have just come off because nothing happened." And me and the co-driver sitting there going, They put a new belt on, and we take off, right? And we take off, and as soon as he looks at me and he goes over the intercom, he's like, "You don't tell, I won't tell." I'm like, "Dude, I'm not saying a word." And I don't know how that engine survived, but immediately the temp gauge drops. We're back down to 185 degrees, and it was so funny. Still this day, like years later, we tell the guy what really happened, and he just shakes his head, But yeah, it was one of those things where, dude, the car's not going to run that hot. The gauge has got to be broke. So I feel you, dude. I've been there.
We got the car back together and hammered it out, put the new radiator in, drove it around on the street. Everything was all good, and it was kind of slippery, tight, twisty stuff, nice and technical. And I was like, "This is it. This is my stage. I can't wait to hit this one." And we had recce'd it, and I had reasonably good notes. I'm like, "Oh, this is going to be awesome." And then, no. Yeah, I went down in a blaze of glory, that's for sure.
Nice. So I guess we're going to go out, man. This is a way to do it, right? Yeah. No, it's kind of cool, though, building a vintage rally car. I know, just talking with Mitch, one of the other instructors up here, he's got a new vintage car. He's selling his proper rally car and building a vintage one. But it seems like that literally you go to more and more rallies and the vintage stuff is popping up. I mean, it's become uber popular in the rally community.
Yeah, absolutely. And even in internationally, it's really huge. They're having events that are strictly just historic stuff. So it's fun. I mean, it's less expensive. You get to remember what rally is all about, which is take whatever you have and go as quickly as you can on whatever road that you're on. So it really, that gets back to the pure essence of rally in general. And I think a lot of times if you get away from that and the more professional you get, the more pressure there is, the less fun it is. And if I wad my car up, it's like, oh well, that's not such a big deal.
Yeah.
You wad up a professional car that you have a lot of money into it, that stings.
Yeah. It's different wadding up a $10,000 car versus a $150,000 car. So.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, bang the fender out and go run another one. You're not not carbon fiber shards, laying all through the forest. So.
Right. And then, older rally cars, they had a certain prowess to them. There was a certain sound that they all made, and cars now, you're faster when you're straighter, so there aren't a lot of sideways cars anymore. So to see a two-wheel drive car, broadside, full throttle is amazing. It's just as cool as it was when those cars were new, and so I think the historic stuff really brings that back, and there's a lot of nostalgia there.
No, and talking about it's funny because I travel around a lot of the Rally America events, and speaking of the vintage stuff, I mean, you've got you've got David Higgins there and Travis Pastrana, and there's a couple others at the top, and then it's like people turn their heads because then there's a lot of cars, and and Subaru has done phenomenal in Rally, and everybody's in a Subaru, and that's a tip of the cap to Subaru, but it's to the point where everybody's in a Subaru, so kind of fans, it's like Subaru, but then there's some old vintage car that goes by and everybody turns their head like, oh, what was that?
Yep, exactly. So, and that's another thing that there's uniqueness. That's exactly it. Anybody can jump in and grab a Subaru and do pretty well. Like you said, it's a great platform, and there's so many parts and so much knowledge out there that you can jump in and do well with it. But if you do well with something that's unique, then it's a touch more rewarding.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate the time, Nate, and best of luck for you and your project. Hoping to see the full, I guess, 20-year rollout plan, man. I'll have to make it up to one of the events and crew for you.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very professional. We're going to have probably 2 cases of Coors Light, I think.
Okay.
The service area.
All right, definitely professional. I like it. You got the hospitality dialed in there.
No, that's just my service.
Oh, you need another couple 30-packs for the hospitality, right? Okay. Have the barbecue grill with the hot dogs going, and maybe throw on some burgers on a good day. Yeah, one of those little Coleman camping grills, right? Nice. All right. Well, best of luck and good catching up, Nate.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, man.
All right. And we'll be back on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, after this break. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our RZR vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of RZR vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a RZR 170 like me, take the entire family out in a RZR XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new RZR XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris RZR. Check out the full Polaris RZR lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound of the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here, and got to tell you, man, had lots of fun up there at DirtFish Rally School. But right now, this next interview, one that I always look forward to each and every time when I go up there. I got to interview Steve Rimmer, who a guy, he absolutely is so passionate about DirtFish Rally School and the sport of rally as a whole. And the guy definitely has given back the rally community. And it's always an honor to interview the owner of DirtFish, Steve Rimmer. All right, catching up here, we've got good friend Steve Rimmer, owner of DirtFish Rally School. How's everything going, Steve?
It's been a great year up to now for us, thanks. The school is progressing well. We've, I think, established a good following and a bunch of repeat customers as well as new clients coming through the school. And this year also has progressed in the GRC Lights program that we initiated last year. We've progressed there. I think we're a little bit more mature, know a little bit more of what we're doing this year, and it's been fun, but also very productive.
Yeah. Well, and I know talking about the the GRC Lights program. I mean, last year, and it's not like running a small team in a regional rally. I mean, you go to Global Rallycross, and it's on television. I mean, it's Major League Motorsport. And I know it had to have been one of those things going in last year. You guys had a lot of success last year. You've taken taken a win this year. How you feel with how the team's coming along? I mean, sometimes it takes 2 to 3 years to build a program, to where you want it to be.
Yeah, and actually, if you wind back a little bit further, when Travis Pastrana and Bryce Menzies were out there competing with the Dodge, we helped them in nominally running that team for them for a year, and so that was an interesting put your foot in the door. Last year with the lights, people think of it as you say, maybe less of a commitment, less of a stretch, and it's really not, because you're there with the big guys, and the expectations are still the same. We're running cars on the same courses. We're running cars that maybe, whilst they don't produce 600 to 650 horsepower, they're a very potent weapon in people's hands, and we've got to produce reliability. We've got to invest the same as everybody else has to invest. That's both in the team, people, personnel, and equipment. So it's a big investment of time, effort, and cash, and the expectations are no different. It's a feeder series for the GRC supercars, but we're dealing with very talented people, and their expectations are that we produce a product that matches their capabilities. If we go a step beyond that, we are limited in what we can do with the cars. It is a spec series, so we have to work within the rules, but reliability, continuity in product is something that's exceptionally important. Here at DirtFish, what we like to add to that equation, however, is coaching and building the competitor himself, herself, to actually be a better driver, to actually be able to extract the best from the machinery we put in their hands. So we like to think ourselves as the complete fit with coaching, nurturing, full race program, full support, technical, and at the race as well. You know, we've got great spotters, great coaches who actually work with the drivers.
Yeah, well, and I think that's something tying that in. DirtFish, I've talked about it before, but it's the one place, and I don't want to just say North America, but I really think the world where somebody can come in with no experience and they can come in and do, anywhere from a half day to, 3 full days, and then they can go and take advanced training, and then they can go to one-on-ones, and then, they can graduate. And, somebody off the street, they, if they go through the proper, training with DirtFish, they can be testing one of the, GRC lights cars here at DirtFish.
Yes. Our objective, one of our objectives at DirtFish includes actually bringing people into the sport. We want to attract people into the sport, and we do that by giving them that very fundamental experience of putting them behind the wheel, whether, as you say, we still do a 2-hour course, which is maybe more experiential for people who want to just put something else on and put a tick in the bucket list. But from the half-day courses onwards, we can take them the full spectrum. So we think we're incremental to the sport. We want to be incremental to the sport to bring people in and take them from ground zero and put them out there. And ultimately, we'd love to see people competing in open class cars in rally and supercars in GRC and doing other things. But we've also been fortunate to take experienced drivers, as you're saying, in different motorsport disciplines and bring them across. So not starting at ground zero, but really recalibrating them from their existing sport into the sport. So it's a very diverse offering and a very diverse client base. But we try to be 0 to 100 miles an hour and
Yeah. Well, and that being said, I got to say, you're a guy that I know, we've said, in interviews before, you eat, sleep, breathe rally. I mean, from a young age, you said, rally captured you. And I got to ask you, we've seen it, in the lobby here, we've got the McRae and the Burns car and things like that. I know you just took possession of a new RS, one of the first in the country, I think. I mean, I know they're out in the wild now, but how do you liking that?
Yeah, had it for about 3 weeks, and I guess the most unfortunate part of having it for 3 weeks is that I've only been here for 1 week of those 3 weeks. The second most unfortunate part of it is I have a 19-year-old son who also is keen on rallying and cars, and so I think he's actually put more miles on the car than I have. But it's a very interesting car, intriguing car, lives up to expectations, and as a rally guy, you love to go and try a variety of cars. Back from the old days, used to love driving the variety cars out there. It's fun to drive the Focus RS, and I'm sure when I really get to grips with it, or when it really gets to grips with me, I should say, and accommodates me and my bad driving. But I'm looking forward to experimenting with it a little bit more.
Yeah. So that being said, I mean, you've got a pretty good feel, obviously, with DirtFish, on kind of the sport of rallies specifically in, the U.S. How do you feel, rallies going? I mean, we see, obviously Subaru is doing phenomenal, with their marketing and that with David Higgins and now Travis Pastrana. You've got Red Bull Global Rallycross. It's live on national TV. It seems like, DirtFish, every time I come here, the classes seem like they're pretty much full, all the time. I mean, how you see the growth of rally, and what do you think's next for the sport of rally and, in the U.S. and North America?
Well, I think going back to fundamentals, I think rally generically, worldwide went through a pretty bad period for 2 or 3 years when the promoter of WRC, that whole situation behind that bankruptcy and who really was promoting it went through some bad times. We've seen the manufacturers come back. And in rally itself, I think if you look globally, it's actually gaining in stature, gaining in number of followers again. The US has always been a little bit behind on the rally front. It's been that inconvenience factor of wandering out into the forest and seeing things for a couple of minutes or whatever. But I like where it's going. I like where we've seen Travis Pastrana come back. always adds a little bit of competitiveness. I love watching and being fortunate enough to get close to David Higgins, even sit in his car sometimes, which is just a blast. But seeing the skill base of somebody like a David Higgins, who is rally through and through and can develop a car, can drive a car, can come back and really tell people what he needs into a car. That sort of expertise has got to add value over to delivering a good product, an excitable, watchable event over here. So hopefully that can continue. We definitely, I think, love some more manufacturers in the equation. Subaru, I think, are doing a good job of bringing, more variety into the equation this year. And I think, though, we've seen that delivering what the people want and making it easy for them to go and experience and see, that's kind of where global rallycross has come in. It's where rallycross has come in. I'd love to see, what we're experiencing this weekend with, Conor Martel, our driver. We've taken the GRC Lights car up to compete in Canada this weekend in the World Rallycross event, which has a light series as well. Just what I get back from people up there at that event, if we can transition, 25, 30%, 40% of what World Rallycross is into GRC and make it really accessible for people, I think that is got to be a big part of the sport. And that, in a sense, drives more money, more attention into rally. Because I think that's where the big money source right now could be, especially in the U.S. environment, to help us support rally as well.
Yeah. That being said, what's next for DirtFish? Obviously, we've seen the growth here, and and I don't know, what are we at, 6 years now? I mean, you tell me that since DirtFish has been here.
June 2010 was when we bought the site. October 2010 was our first course. So we're getting there, close to 6 years.
Yeah, close to 6 years, and we've seen that, now, you tour and talking with Derek, the shop manager, and things like that. I mean, we've seen, obviously, went from all-wheel drive and all these classes to now a full two-wheel drive. We've got lights cars, open class cars. I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, what's next for DirtFish?
You caught me in the middle of a meeting which is discussing exactly that. What we need to do is look for some new things, but that are incremental, both to experience and to be able to teach people. We've looked at things like cross carts, the dirt cross carts, and looking at those sort of products. We always kick around in our mind whether our single location is a restriction in being able to grow and deliver things to people. We've talked about taking DirtFish on the road. Putting 4 or 5 cars on the road and finding sites around the country which, we can go and for certain periods of the year we'd actually do that. We've talked about a second site. So I think we want to do more of the same because it's proven to be so successful and I think so useful to people who have been part of the sport. We might want to make it more convenient to people to broaden the market. On the actual side of the competition side, the motorsport side, we've recently bought what is our third lights car. We have one car which we use for school training here when anybody comes to DirtFish and they get their private sessions with our instructors on the car. We've got one car which obviously Conor Martel is using in the lights program, and I'm glad to see, as you said, we've had one win and some podiums, and he's remained competitive and focused, and I think is a fan favorite, which is great for us at DirtFish because we're a people business as well. We'll add another car next year. We've got the car. We're just looking out there and saying, where do we go and find the next Conor Martel, the person who we can help grow in the sport, bring them on, and so that's the focus for the next 2 or 3 months. But we fully intend to be out there in the GRC lights next year with 2 cars.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. I know it's a busy guy, and I know you've got some meetings going on, but always appreciate the time.
I'll love to see you up here, Jim. Glad you're out there enjoying the classes, and it's always great to see you up here. And thanks for the opportunity of at least telling people about what we are.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Steve.
Thanks, Jim.
All right. Great catching up with Steve Rimmer. And we're going to be back after this short commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, to wrap things up. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it. So when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
Life is all about sound. The sound of sports. The sound at the racetrack. And the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? DirtFish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at DirtFish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here, wrapping things up. This has been our DirtFish Rally edition of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. I encourage any of you, even on the bubble about going to DirtFish Rally School, make your way up there. Husband, wife groups. I don't care if you're, if you're young, old, it doesn't matter. DirtFish is a ton of fun, and you will definitely have a blast. I know when I was up there was a father and son team, going up there, and kid was like 18, and the dad was probably, in his 50s, and having a blast together. So definitely do it. Just do it. That's the easiest way to put it. Got to give a shout out to Polaris Razor, General Tire, Subaru, KC Highlights, Gibson Exhaust, MTX Impacts, Terracross, Blue Air Resort and Casino, and especially my friends at DirtFish Rally School for helping make this happen. Give me a follow at JimBeaver15. My co-host, who wasn't with me today, but it's at AmyHood71, downanddirtyshow.com, and you can download our app and make sure and subscribe on iTunes. Give us those reviews. Hammer that stuff home, but please do it. And, upcoming events. I know I will be live next week. We will be doing our regular show, regular time here at the Down and Dirty Radio Show, but we'll also be doing Thursday live from Contingency at Vegas Torino with General Tire. So definitely be locked and loaded to that. And, Vegas to Reno coming up. We got Lucas. We got Torque. More pro motocross. Terracross kicking off in the future. Man, it's going to be a packed couple of months here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show. And I got a couple of blockbuster announcements coming at you as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Make sure and give DirtFish your feedback and lock in those classes. And, we will see you guys next week with another edition of your favorite Action Motorsports Radio Show. Game on.